So as we work through our conditionals, they have been really simple so far. We've just done things like this. If x equals 5, then we do something. Okay? We're going to run into situations where we want to do the exact same thing, right? If x equals 3, right? These two blocks are going to be exactly the same thing. Wouldn't it be nice if Python had a way to do that? Well, as you can see at the top there, they're the keywords and or, and they will handle this exact use case, okay? Let's come back over to our code, and I have conditionals and spacing open up. So let's scroll up to the top since we haven't been here for a minute. On line 2 here, I have an input, right? Collect their name, we ask them for their name, and we store it in there. And then we check, right, with just a simple if-else, right? We do some printing, keep going. We have an if-else, and again, we just print based on what the user gives us. And then down here, I'm going to comment this part out because this is just to illustrate, right? Two different ifs are evaluated separately, okay? Let's start with, we won't use name just yet. We'll start with what we had a second ago. We'll define x and initialize it as 3, and we will check to see if x equals 3, then we will print your number is 3 or 5, okay? And then we will do an elif, x equals 5, then I'm going to copy line 38 there and drop it in. I know that is silly, but you'll get the point. And then I'm going to print it off here at the bottom. We'll say is not 3 or 5, okay? This is a use case for an or, right? If x equals 3 or x equals 5, we want to do exactly the same thing, but we have it in two different statements. And just to make sure this works, you don't need to run this if you don't want to, but Python 3 against conditionals and spacing. Name does not matter. There we go. We get your name is 3 or 5, okay? Again, this is a perfect use case. Instead of doing things this way, we can eliminate this line, we can eliminate this line, and we can put in here or x equals 5, and that is it. It will do exactly the same thing. So we run our code again, right? Naturally, we get your number is 3 or 5. We switch this over to 5, run it again, and we will get, of course, exactly the same thing, right? Your number is 3 or 5, okay? We can change this to an and as I said a minute ago in the video, that is silly because x cannot ever equal both 3 and 5. That is simply not possible. So it doesn't matter what I put in here. We should get our, there we go, your number is not 3 or 5. So let me get rid of that one. And let's change it up down here where we will check to see if x equals 3 and name equals Rob, then we will print off you have a common name and a common number. All right, that's kind of silly, but we'll say else. Actually, let's do, well, we'll start off with else. We'll do else, and then we'll just print off not Rob or 3. Or sorry, not Rob and 3, because we need both of these to be true here. So line 43 is what we're going to expect if x is 3 and it's not, and then if name is Rob. So let's run that real quick, just test it out. Name is Rob, but it's not. X is not 3. Let's switch that over here to 3. Run it again. My name is Rob. We get it. You have a common name and a common number, okay? So we will use this. Let's go back over to our guessing game and let's update it so that we can use our or our and statements.